Good evening and welcome back to the Variable Y Show. You know who I am, Variable Y. Um, Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. I would like to, before we start, I would like to send huge shouts out to just two of the greatest people I know on this earth, two men that have done a lot to help me to shape me into the person that I am today. Two that have been very inspirational and have shown me to really be myself and be true to myself and follow my dreams and just do what I love to do and to just be real about who I am and to be real with the things that I do in life. So, like I said, before we get started, I'm going to send a huge shout out to guys who just started following me on Instagram. Um, Want to send a shout out to my man Spoon. What's up, brother? Man, thank you so much for the follow. You can follow George, great man, Spoon. You can follow him. He's a wonderful man. If you ever need any advice, any inspiration, if you ever need to know what it's like to try and be a man, trying to navigate in this world, then this is a brother you definitely need to follow. You can follow him at GRESP, GRESP 18, GRESP 18. That's GRESP 18. And also another good young brother, a funny dude, knowledgeable dude, family man, just a really, really good guy, a really funny guy. If you just want to cut up about some sports or just laugh at something, this is the guy for you. Now, if you're from Atlanta and you love Atlanta and you love the Atlanta Hawks, he's a little disrespectful to Dominique Wilkins, but still a good brother, man. Still a good brother. And if you are in need of a DJ, he's the best DJ you can ever pay for. Trust me on this. He will get your party to where you want it to go. Holla at my main man, Trey Stokes. You can find him on Instagram at DJ Trey Stokes. So again, need a good DJ, please holla at my man Trey. Best DJ your money can buy, trust me. You need a good brother, somebody who can get you through some things, somebody who can inspire you to be a good brother. Holla at my man George. He'll do what he needs to do for you. So that's the shout out portion. Thank you guys so much. And now we're going to get into some sports real quick. Now, I started the day off with today's topic, and I was just gonna go a little off the beaten path today. You know, we got baseball going on. Again, the other night we shouted out the Nationals for making it to their first World Series ever, and I still think that's pretty big. That's a pretty big story, and a story that we're not really talking about. I mean, the Nationals have been around since 2005, so in 14 years they've gone to the World Series. Not very uncommon for baseball, but just in the landscape of sports, I think it's kind of fascinating for a team to only have been around for 14 years, to lose their best player in the off season, to start off in the first 50 games, and I grant it's only a quarter of the season, but to start off in the first 50 games and only win 19, and everybody to just say your season is pretty much a wash, to turn that around and then go to the World Series, I think that's pretty amazing. That's a pretty amazing story. But as I'm sitting down watching TV, hanging out with the wife, I get a text message saying Andy Reid's messed up. And so what happens? Apparently, Patrick Mahomes attempted a quarterback sneak from the two, and now he's out of the game. So that leads me to the topic of, should Andy Reid have sat Patrick Mahomes? Now, I've heard people talk about this all day, and some people are saying yes, some people are saying no. And they're saying it because, hey, if you get Mahomes healthy, then you got him for the stretch run throughout the rest of the season and into the playoffs. He had an ankle injury going in, and all these metrics are out there saying that before he injured his ankle, he was out of this world. After the ankle injury, he became a normal, just a regular quarterback. So they're saying, hey, if you sit him down so we can get him ready, get him to the bye week, then after that, he'll be fully healthy and he'll be ready to go. I guess I'm just a little different because I feel like you don't sit the MVP down. That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, can we all name the last few MVPs and the year after that? Can we say, yeah, there was a point where somebody should have sat them down? Now, granted, I understand that Mahomes is dealing with an ankle injury. Very true. But if we're thinking about this kid as being this otherworldly football player, which he is, like I'm not saying that he's not, of course he is, but if we're thinking of him as being this once in a generation type of player, then we all have to think that you're going to go into a game with your once in a generation type player. You're going to go into a game with the MVP. You don't sit the MVP down unless his leg is hanging off his body. It just doesn't make any sense. And not just that, you sit the MVP down when you have a stacked team that you know we can get a game without him. We're good without him. We're undefeated. We can stand to lose a game. But guys, let's not forget, you only get 16 of these NFL games. So you don't have enough time. You don't have enough games to give games away. Like, that's the beauty of this thing called the NFL. There are only 16 games. So you need every single game to make sure that you can make the playoffs. And sitting down the MVP for one is a good shot at losing one of those games. And granted, you've already lost two straight. So you don't want to lose a third straight game just because you think that he might be hurt. Everybody's hurt. It's week 7 of the football season. Week 8, I'm sorry, it's week 8. So everybody's hurt. Everybody is waiting for the bye week, or everybody is looking to take some time to maybe dial it down a little bit. But you've got to prepare, and you got to work, and you got to be smart, and you got to say, hey, I won't run my quarterback on the quarterback draw on the 2. Now that part doesn't really make sense to me, but hey, you know, sometimes, hey, for a good coach, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. And I think at this point, we all know that Andy Reid is a great coach. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm not going to kill him on this. I'm not going to say anything bad about him on this. But I think we all should just pump the brakes and say, hey, sitting the MVP is not a smart move. So that's just one man's opinion. I know there are plenty of people out there who think that he should have sat. And of course, now that he's gotten injured, everybody's going to come and say, yeah, see, you should have sat him, blah, 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 blah. Again, I don't think that that's the right move. Most valuable player of the league in his second year to throw for over 50 touchdowns and over 5,000 yards. Do you really want to sit this guy? That, again, if that makes sense to you, that's fine. It makes no sense to me, so I wouldn't do it. But hey, that's why I'm here. Share a couple of nuggets with you guys. Again, I thank you so much for joining me. If you have any comments, any questions, anything you want to, any shout outs you want to do, please leave comments in the comment section. Make sure that they are positive, because if they are negative, they will get ignored. I thank you guys so much for joining me. Shout out to my 2 brothers that sent me shout outs. I appreciate you. Love you guys, and I hope you keep following. Thank you. Have a good night.